Hey, 7K team, good morning. Well, it's good afternoon now because it's in my time. It's a little bit after 12 noon. Uh, and welcome. Now, this is going to be very specific this morning, but it's also going to apply decades from now for those who care to listen to this in the future. Uh, we're coming up on the 8th anniversary, 8 years in business since pre-launch. Now, listen to those words, pre-launch. And that is November of 2024 will be 8 years. Everybody kind of knows the story a little bit, or should know the story. Richard Wayne Hansen didn't call me the first 2 weeks that they were in pre-launch opening. He waited, and he basically was kind of like the last person sponsored by him in his right leg. Okay. And I was there at the bottom. Okay. And so I called our first meeting. I joined on November 16th, 2016. I I immediately did my business family pack. I enrolled my lovely business partner, wife, best friend, Pamela, and her company, and place them on my left and right. And of course, I started with my own company. And of course, I enroll myself again later as a personal. So we get to have two accounts. We had to have a business account and a personal account if you so desire it. Not everybody did the business family pack, but about 35+% of my organization comes in with a business family pack because everyone learns through time that if you're doing the business and if you want to be successful, and of course, that's why you join, you want to be successful. Well, make a commitment. Well, the first commitment is to get the current legacy VIP membership, which is the $5.99 lifetime membership. That's your number one first commitment. Anything else, you're just kind of trying it out. Okay. And you need to have this conversation with your prospects. Now, it's their decision, but at least you need to have that conversation. And if you don't want to have that conversation, play this video, or at least the first beginnings of it for them. Okay. And then let them make up their mind which membership they want. Okay. Now, and I know most people say, well, I can't afford it. Well, you can't afford not to have it, especially if you have a job, because you get 1099 tax benefits and cost is not a problem once you understand that. And we have enough secondary validation materials with CPAs and business tax consultants and tax lawyers that are available in my material that I provide on all of our team band apps and on my YouTube website. For those that aren't in my team, but you're in somebody else's team and you want access to my materials, you'll have to get that from the YouTube website, not my team band apps, because those are specific for each of the individual teams. I have 17 different team band apps, and it's specific for their teams because they have communication and things that is team specific for them. Okay. And we don't need a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding going on, especially between two teams. Now, there are generic things that are common to every team. Okay. That's in my YouTube. Okay. And for those that may hear this video and you're not part of my group, but we're making a big move forward now in 7K, where if you notice, corporate's kind of taking a back door step finally of trying to train us to do what we do. Okay. And we're having actual leaders in the field trained to do what we do. And that's being done through our Leaders Advisory Board, where Ryan Chamberlain, a very experienced networker, been in networking and consulted in the industry with many different companies. We're putting it together, and we're pulling together the things that, many things that I've trained already. Ryan teaches much of the same things I've taught. Most masters in the industry teach the same things. It's just might have different nuances, and many other leaders that are in 7K have their own aspects of piquing an interest, uh, uh, share, sharing information, showing the plan, uh, and then launching the business. And that's really what network marketing boils down to, is those things, and then develop the skills, attitudes, and techniques it takes to uh, become an expert at those skills. That's all. And it takes time. Some people do it more rapidly than others, but all can succeed if they focus, stay engaged, and keep up IPAs. What's IPAs? Income producing activity. Daily, working at it. This is network marketing, not I join and I get rich marketing. Okay. So we have to do something to produce a result. We can't just sit back and say, oh, well, we're going to get results. Well, we do want a legacy income business. So that's what sets network marketing apart from all the other industries. You can work really, really hard at it, learning, building, doing all the activities, and develop an income that will survive your ability to work, because you're building a team through exponential expansion, the power of two. I get one on my left, I get one on my right. We help them duplicate that process. That's the exponential expansion formula. And if everybody's just half as good as you, the next period you'll have 4 in your group. And if everybody's just half as good as you got 2 the first. See? If everybody's just half as good as you, those 2 get 2 more, and that makes 4. And if those 4 just get 1 each, then that makes 8. And if those 8 just get 1 each, that makes 16. And if those 16 just get 1 each, that makes 32. Now that can be days, that can be months, that can be years. But it will exponentiate as long as we are doing daily activities. Now, as a company grows, it adds more tools, it adds more, complexities to their business. But what we have to do is we have to keep it simple. We have to keep it to the basics of piquing interest, giving information, using tools. The less we use this, the better off we are. I tell people get laryngitis. Listen to this. Really, income producing active. So what we're doing, and just to kind of explain everything, and you've seen with the Vault Facebook page and a system that we've been trying to kind of teach and introduce, and then going over it. Well, repetition is what it takes to go over it and go over it until we finally catch it, and then let people who are a little less technically astute be able to catch up and be able to integrate into what we're doing as one big team, so we can produce that exponential expansion. See, when you have 4,000 people in your organization, eventually, and everyone can, it's just a matter of time and a matter of keeping doing what you're doing and doing it repetitively on a consistent basis, not just a little bit and then stop and just wait and then do a little bit and then stop and wait. No, we have to be consistent. And we have to make ourselves do this. This is not something that comes natural. I mean, we have submitted to the job, the just over broke syndrome, where we get up and we go to work like robots, helping other people get wealthy off of our efforts. This is a paradigm shift. You're going to get wealthy off of your own efforts and efforts of the team that you create. And as long as we have this attitude, well, it's not working for me, well, it won't work for you. It's because you don't have that belief. You got to have that belief. You got to have that faith for it to work for you. And then you have to consistently work at it. The secrets. That's the real secrets of success in network marketing. Now, everybody's definition of success can be different. You know, I submit that a person that can develop an extra $500 a quarter working 7kmetals by learning about gold and silver, accumulating and securing what wealth they have, and then accumulating more wealth, assets, while they're developing an income stream, is one of the best things anyone can be doing. And even if we only get to make one $500 cycle a year, you are coming out ahead. But when you turn that one $500 cycle into two $500 cycles, or four $250 cycles, just think about how much better off you are than you were before you ever did 7K. So let's set our goals that are realistically and achievable based on our effort that we're going to put in. And don't put our expectations up here and compare ourselves with other people, because you don't know what effort they're putting in. And for those of you who put in a lot of effort, just remember, you've got a 2-year learning curve, because you have never been successful at this before. Now, if you have been a 6-figure plus earner in network marketing previously, and you're not succeeding right now, it means you got lucky the first time. Because see, if you can't replicate and do it again, especially with a company like this, then you hadn't developed those skills, attitudes, and techniques that it really takes to succeed yet. So you got lucky. And every once in a while, that happens. I mean, we got people in 7K, they got lucky. Some people have me on their left and Diane Graver on their right. And they had nothing to do with sponsoring either one of us. And we have the 2 largest organizations in the company individually that are our own created organization. You know, I kind of, before we actually started, was talking in kind of an introduction before I started recording, that Richard Wayne Henson didn't contact me at first. He put me at the bottom. Well, I immediately went to work, and I had a business meeting on a Friday night, November 17th, my birthday, 2016. I called an emergency meeting with friends that I knew, and none of these were master network marketers. And we had 15 people show up. That were 15 people at that meeting Friday night in Baton Rouge at George and Sandra Donaldson's house. All 15 enrolled. I only enrolled 3. Okay. Because I'd already enrolled my wife. And we actually made a mistake. My son was supposed to enroll under me, and he enrolled under my wife. And we never were able to get that corrected. Okay. So I let those members enroll under each other, and we created a left team where we're all working together in synergy. On the way home, I made 5 phone calls. I let Pamela drive. One of the phone calls was to Cindy and Delton Kaysen. I was calling Delton. Cindy was at home. He was still at work. He should be retired, but he was still working 60 and 70-hour work weeks. That's why I called them. I wanted to help them. I knew this would be an avenue. They did gold and silver with me previously and didn't make it real big, but succeeded nonetheless. Anyone that earns gold and silver is coming out ahead and accumulating wealth, securing their wealth. And it paid off handsomely. Well, Cindy jumped in, but when Delton got home, she didn't jump in with a business family pack. And by the time Delton got home, we had already placed somebody under him. So his business family pack wasn't all at the top. He had somebody in between him. But that's okay. It worked out fine because they kept producing volume for him. Because eventually everybody ends up with a business family pack. You're going to eventually need to be in control of your own business, having your own left and your own right. And we have that capability because we can have a business membership and a personal membership, just like at Costco, just like at Sam's. Okay. So no difference. That's why I call it a business family pack. And not maybe another name that's used in the binary industry, since we have a binary based play plan. Well, then we just went to work. Now, I did something very unusual. I joined a network marketing company that was brand new, actually in pre-launch, not even launched. I mean, it had a comp plan, left and right, make a $500 cycle check, above average check. You can develop a recurring income because you have a product you buy every month, a collectible product, an MS-70 Silver Eagle. Well, I was aware what that was because I had already purchased rated coins by PCGS and NGC. And so I already owned coins like that because I was diversifying in my gold and silver pot. It's good to be diversified. So I understood that. Hey, just kind of think about this. We're not buying pills, lotions, patches, protein drinks, hair growing stuff, wrinkle go away creams, all that stuff with expiration date. That's an expense. We're actually adding an asset to our wealth every month, something we should be doing anyway, but we don't because we haven't been taught that. So that's what I saw. But when I asked Richard one question, when he did call me up, all hot and sweaty that night in Baton Rouge, trying to redo my mom's flooded out home because we had a great flood in Baton Rouge of 2016. I said, well, who's behind you, Richard? And he said, Roger Ball. Well, I knew who Roger Ball was. I didn't know him personally then, as I do now, but I knew who Roger Ball was. I knew his reputation. I knew what he had done, some of the things he has done in his life. And so I knew the money part and the ethics part was there. So I didn't see it a great big risk. Now, why do I say it's a big risk? Well, you look up the statistics in Direct Sales Association. 99% plus of new network marketing companies go out of business their first year. More than 98% go out of business in this by the second year. More than 97% of network marketing companies go out of business more than in their first 5 years. Hey, we're about to go to our 8th year and we've got a solid foundation base totally paid off for. Whoa. And we've expanded our business, increased our benefits, have so much more to offer in addition to our basic, one on your left, one on your right, make above average $500 check with an asset that you accumulate, that you secure, that you keep, that you maintain. That's the basic principle. I want everyone to understand what we're doing, because it's going to tie in to making this next leap, this major momentum growth in the company and expansion of the company over the next 5-10 years. I pray the Lord lets me see a lot of it, but in November, I'll be 78. And one of my prime reasons of doing 7K is to provide a legacy for my children's children. Had I been doing it for Bob Reid, for me, I would have been a presidential go years ago, because I would have focused on me. But I haven't focused on me. I focused on my organization, my people, helping my people. I put more time and effort, and I spent a lot of money in helping people in my organization expand my organization and help expand the growth of the company that didn't even make me any money. For years, I've done that. And people who went and seen my trainings, where I've showed my back office and showed, hey, when let's take the Hawaii group, that's a lot of money. But it helped my friend George a lot. Helped him get a lot of $7,000 checks. And George was somebody I personally sponsored. He sponsored Jim McClellan, who sponsored Gary Goslin. And he sponsored Cheryl Toyofuku. Now, I say those names because, see, Jim just kind of sat on the sideline buying his coin for a while. He attempted, and that's how he got Gary attention, but Gary said no. It wasn't about a year later before Gary came to him and asked him about that gold and silver company he had talked to him about a year ago. He was ready to buy some silver because Colleen Nakamura and Cheryl Toyofuku came to him wanting to buy some of God's money, gold and silver in particular. And from there, we started doing Zooms, building up a network, building up a team where he brought people into his condo, and I'd do late night Zooms. Wasn't very practical for me to go all the way to Hawaii to do a couple of meetings in the home. But we built up an initial team to the point that a trip was necessary. But that trip cost me almost $5,000. I made no income on that. But by making that trip, we replicated what I did with Wayne Clark and Team Corona here, and started because we were building in, and that was on my other side. That was on my pay side. So I got paid on all that work, and I didn't mind doing all that work. And I worked just as hard as Wayne Clark. And in fact, my charge was for him to work harder than me. And as Wayne Clark knows, I could have become an executive goal 3 paychecks before he did. But I told him if he would do what I asked him to do, I would help him become the first executive goal of the company. And Richard Wayne Hansen knows I could have become a goal before he did. I didn't want to become a goal before Richard. So it wasn't about Bob Reid. It was about doing what's right for my group and the company. And so that's why I'm having this conversation today. We're at another precipice point with a slower growth curve for the company, because it's going to grow with you or without me. It's going to grow. It's got enough base infrastructure, enough establishment into the gold and silver marketplace, into all of the intricacies of the gold and silver marketplace and modern collectibles, that the company is going to survive, with us or without us. And I say let it survive with us. In particular, you and the people you bring in. Because just think about it. What is our product? Our product is a product of value, an asset that has value even if it caught fire and was destroyed. Now let's compare that with any other networking company. We get to accumulate an asset over time. Find one fault in that. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, we're paying more for it. I can get it cheaper somewhere else. Really, can you? No, you can't. Not if you really understand 1099 tax benefits. You can't get it cheaper somewhere else. Somewhere else, you're spending it. It's like an expense. Here, it's like an asset. See, it's learning how to answer and handle those objections. Will everyone understand them? No. Will people understand them with time? Yes. Because factors and economic situations changes in different people's lives. But we have to be doing the things that I teach putting people in the pipeline, stay in touch with the pipeline, doing these things. And now we're going to have even better systems to help us do that. The vault. I'm talking about the Facebook page, the vault. And it kind of brings us into that 21st century marketing. Now, some of us will have to learn new skills, new techniques, new things. But if we're learning, we're growing. I mean, me at almost, I'm 77, I'll be 78. I mean, I never really did Facebook. I know I got a lot of friends on Facebook, but me, I just wanted to post stuff when I wanted to post stuff, and it was mostly political. Back when I was, doing the Tea Party of Louisiana and all the politics that were I involved with for over 15 plus years. But now I'm having to learn myself. But what I want to tell you is much of the training that Ryan is giving and I'm giving integrates the same things we've been doing, because see, I teach all of you about my success system. And that never goes away, by the way. And I'm going to demonstrate that today. But I also, y'all know, I teach, where can I see this? Oh, I started, hey, there it is. You're starting to see. You see, it says the vault. Okay. And inside this, believe it or not, see all those names? See all those pages with names on it? Okay. I now have 114 people that have joined the vault. These are prospects. I'm not counting the people that are in the leaders like you that are members of 7K that are also invited, because I want you to be part of this system, because it's going to be a great system. And we may as well learn how to use it just like our other tools, just like my system with the QR code cards. Okay, just like that. And you should be passing out 1,000 of these a year. I mean, that's going to cost you a whole $50 about. But you should be passing out 1,000 a year. If you're not passing out 1,000 a year, you're hurting yourself. And since I'm talking about QR codes, if you've linked this code and you built it the way I taught, that's in the band app, in the training, and you got a dynamic QR code and you linked it to a previous video that's no longer available, then you just need to go to your QR code site, which I give you, and then edit where you point that QR code and point it to a current video. Maybe the new less than 2-minute peak video that you created, a generic one in your links in your back office. Now, a lot of what I'm saying is over a lot of people's head. They don't even know what I'm talking about. You're going to have to go to specific training. You're going to have somebody in your team helping you understand the words that I just talked about. But I want you to understand, this is no different than the first book that I asked you to pull. Your very first book when you join is to write down 100 prospects, names, telephone number, email address, and other pertinent little information, all on one sheet of paper in your spiral notebook. And this is your pipeline. Now, many of the names that came out of this for me to do were from my pipeline. So now I have my pipeline, my prospects book. Now, I do check off and put a member of 7K and fold that tab on my prospects book. But see, you're going to eventually have a list of 500 people in that, and you're going to have a couple of spiral notebooks like I have. But see, if you're not doing those things, then you can't expect that bigger level of success, because there's no way you can keep it all up in here, who you talk to, and you're going to have people that you pique an interest in join other people's business because you're not following up with your pipeline like I teach. See, it's a system. Systems are what makes success in network marketing. But I like to keep them very simple, keep them to the basics, so that if you really want success, you can succeed, but you've got to break through that paradigm. For things to be different, you have to do things differently. But you have to do things that work. Don't try to recreate. So, what's happening with, we've had different onboarding. I've had different onboarding. The company's had its onboarding. We've had different onboarding. We're going to be putting together how we, as all leaders, can agree to the very basics of proper onboarding, so we can have some unity across the whole company on, you know, how we pique interest, how we follow up, how we launch a business, those basics, that show the plan. Now, we can show the plan many different ways. We can let them watch a video. We can watch a video with them. We can do 3 ways. We can do Zooms. We can do many different ways to show the plan. And we'll use all of them. None of that changes. But what we're going to have is another tool. And we're going to be systematizing how we go about building a business. And then we'll want to keep that up as we continue to grow and we continue to expand from country to country to country. Building, working, expanding, building, working, expanding, building, working, expanding. That's what we do. So with that, let me share my screen, okay? Because I want to make sure, one thing for sure, I want to make sure that we're all part of, let me see, that's not what I wanted to share. There we go. And sharing stopped. Okay. So let me share my screen real quick here again. Okay. Let me go try and find what I'm trying to share. Maybe it's here. I'm trying to find my, no, don't tell me I'm not online. Man, I sure hope that didn't happen to me. No, I think I know what happened. Low system resource, trying closing some application may improve. Okay. I think I know what happened. I had too much open on my screen. Yeah. And hopefully, oh man. Yeah. I had way too much open on my screen. So let me try and close some of this when it comes in there. Uh, Let me close that app real quick. Let me close Gmail, close that Facebook page. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay. At least maybe I can get this up. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing and share again to me and get the right things sharing here. Okay. Yeah. I had too much open in the background. That was the problem. So here we go. Okay. So this is the Vault Facebook page. Now, if you're not a member, you know, just search it on the Vault. If you're a member of 7K, you can join, and you can search the Vault on your Facebook, and then you can just click join. Now, you don't join instantaneously because it's a private group. So make sure you join. Okay. Get in it. So where it says where it says I've joined, it will say join. There'll be a join link. Okay. Now, what is it? It's a community of like-minded individuals educating each other on how to add more gold and silver assets and reduce liability. Hey, this is why I found it so easy that I send these invites to people that were in my pipeline that said no to 7K in the past, but they all joined. I mean, I had over an 85% success rate in me sending an invite and people joining. These are all prospects. I've had 114 prospects that have joined. Now, then I've already added them. Then I tagged them and messaged them. And I messaged them with the very first message that's at the very top in the featured by Ryan Chamberlain. And really, it just sends them this message, welcoming them, and then letting them know if they put in the word gold, okay, they could win a monthly drawing, win some gold. That's pretty cool. Okay. And then once I get them in, and this is the system we're teaching, okay, and it's going to be a while, but now we started off with a few hundred members. We're already up to 1.6 thousand members, and most of these are prospects. Okay. Now they're your prospects, they're my prospect. Now we call ATM, add tag message. That's what I did when I saw they joined. And I've had teachings on how to do this. They're there. I've got them in YouTube. I've got them in the band apps. Okay. And how we find out if they join by searching the members based on your invite. And then how do you actually tag them and message them? I've got actually how to step by step. Okay. So the key is become a part of this. Now, the other Facebook page, and if you're not a part of it and you're a member of 7K, make sure you become a part of this by going and joining. Search the Vault, and you'll see it's got the little vault thing like that. That's the right one. Okay. Then what you also want to do, if you're not a part of what used to be 7K exclusive, it's now this group. We're changing it because it's being changed to a different kind of these are for members only. Now the Vault is for prospects and members, but we're not talking about making an income. We're only talking about products. We're only talking about gold and silver, how to acquire it, why it's good to have. That's all we're doing in the Vault, the one for the prospects. No talking about, we don't even talk about the company 7K. I know it's on the product labels, but that's okay. But we don't talk about joining. We don't talk about the memberships. We don't talk about any of that. We only talk about what it's about, a community of how to acquire gold and silver assets and why it's important to have them and own them and how to reduce liabilities. That's what that's for. And then we can tag and message, and we can follow up, and we can work on our pipeline. They're getting third-party validation from many sources on those posts. So the next is, if you're not a member of this, then look up Vault Builders Group. Okay. And this is the Vault Builders Group. Okay. This is a 7K group, only members only. Again, it's private. So when you go to this page, you can click on join. You'll have to put in your username, and then they will allow you to join, and you'll come. So it's not instantaneous. You get to join these groups, but both groups are private. Now, so become a part of it. This is part of the system. I'm about to tell you. Okay. Now, of course, here's the band app. Okay. I've got Team Hawaii. I've got 17 teams here. Okay. So I just use Team Hawaii. Why? Well, and in these messages, you're going to see I've got training for the vaults here. Okay. You can even find, and you'll need to learn how to search for the trainings. Okay. And you do it by a simple keyword here on the computer. On your phone, it's the little magnifying glass, that little magnifying glass on your phone at the top right, and you do #V vault, and you'll see there it is, the vault system. And you can sit all my trainings on the vault system. Okay. So you don't have to scroll down through all the posts. You can actually learn how to do the search in your Team Band app. Now on YouTube, that's a whole different matter. Okay. And I'm not teaching that. Okay. And people have to find it. Learn, ask YouTube. But for this, I made it simple. I've made a bibliography. You can find all my attachments. Okay, at the phone, it's a little envelope with a dot in the middle at the bottom on the navigation screen. It's a little manila folder. Okay, in the website, it's attachments, and then you hit view all, and you can get every PDF attachment I talk about in a training, the 7 pieces of paper, everything else. So real quick, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to share one more time to what we all know, and kind of wrap this up for you, and then have our Q&A session here, because I didn't want to make this long, but it just turned out to be that way. Okay, the success system, every one of you know it. If you're not teaching it, then you're not going to be building that group. You're not going to get that one partner on your left and one partner on your right that's there for life with you. You got to be teaching this, and you got to be teaching it recurringly. You got to go over it with your partner even recurringly, so that they can teach it, like I'm doing with each of you. It's one piece of paper, a couple of paragraphs, tells us why we do network marketing, why we are doing actually 7K versus any other network marketing company. Okay? And these are all facts. And we just need to agree with one another, they're facts. And it tells us the big differences. And it tells you that you got to make a commitment. But then I defined exactly what you need to do, the 5 things. And if you can't make a commitment of 10 hours a week, then you don't deserve getting even an extra 500. You don't deserve being able to protect your wealth. You don't deserve to be able to accumulate more wealth. And if you're not doing your 10 hours a week, start now. Especially if you've got a team on your left and a team on your right, you got half your organization, you got half your income built. If you have 20,000 or more on your bank side in volume, you got a $500 check probably built for the rest of your life. If you go to work, and you could build that to a $500 a week check. Look how powerful, what statement I just made. Where else could you head where we whole volume Accumulate volume. That's virtually unheard of. Okay, what do? We expose the business to 5 people a day. That means we work on that pipeline. And if you don't have this list, the beginning done, you can't ever do this properly. So if you haven't done these things, start now. If you're just starting, start now. Do it right. This is what it takes to succeed. Now, you've got to watch for the first 2 years. You got to watch one of my training videos, plus you got to watch the company's videos first. Well, you'll watch a couple of my videos first, then you'll watch the company videos. But you got to watch one of my training videos, one a day, 5 days a week, for 2 years. And if you haven't done that, start now. And your business starts now. Even if you've made income, you've done things, you still haven't done it right, and you still haven't done it that is duplicatable. So these 4 things comprise those 10 hours. And making these should take less than an hour a day. It doesn't even take an hour a day. It should only take you about 15, 20 minutes, just like my prospects with the vault system. Now, if you're showing a plan, that comes in here. To show the plan, attend a meeting, attend a training. Well, see, you're attending a training here. And I tell everybody, at least read 15 minutes a day in the Bible. Just pick a spot, start, and then from there on, go. 5 out of 7 days. Best leadership training you're going to ever have. All the big leader gurus that teach training, motivation, they get it all from the Bible. And many of them admit it. So how do we build this team left and right? Well, it's right there. And that just shows you the power. You're at the top of you're the CEO. Now, is the person, do I make more money? No, I got people under me that make more money than me now. That's pretty powerful. And all that volume just keeps coming up. And I want them to duplicate, and I want them to build, and I want them to succeed. I have the only presidentials in this company under me. I have the most executive goals under me in this whole company. They're my left and right teams. And I'm not bragging. I'm just letting you know that can happen to you too. I'm just letting you know that can happen to you too. But only if you're doing what I'm teaching. And then that's how we get that exponential expansion going. And what if it took you 12 years? What else is a person doing in 12 years that they could end up with? If they end up with 4,000 people in their organization, and they only have 1,000 on the left team and 1,000 on the right team buying that coin every month, that's 20,000 points, 20 points a coin, if you look at it that way. We're not even talking about what you made in the process on memberships, your 5 levels, none of that. We're not talking about any of that. We're just talking about what happens later. That's enough to make a $20,000 check every month, 5,000 a week. But you better be a goal, and learning how to rank up, become that. And we just made it so much easier to rank up. And does this work? Yes, but has it ever worked for you yet? It can. And you're with the right company, with the right product at the right time, at right marketplace, and with the strength that they're going to be here 10 years from now. And that's what you get by having people join you and getting this message to them and teaching them what I teach, the 7 pieces of paper. This is a success system. This is how do you build. This is the success system. These are the things you must do and incorporate and learn and do to have success. That's the key. And these three beliefs. Then we get into the building system, the launching. What do we do once we get a membership? Once we decide to become part of, well, that's what we have. See, my latest system, the 1, 2, 3 system, was enroll them. Well, see, we didn't talk about the peaking and the process to get them to enroll. That's a whole different part. That's a whole different part of this program. But immediately invite them to what? Their team band app. If you're in another group, you're going to have to do what that group does. You're in another leadership group, you have to do what that group does. But we're about to do something to make it harmonious for all of 7K. And I will integrate that into our system. Just like I've adapted the 1, 2, 3 system ever since the beginning. And I adapt it based on the new tools, the new stuff that we have, what we need to look at, what we need to do to duplicate. But see, I teach the same thing all the time. What we do to launch our business, what we do to learn while we're earning and learning. See, we immediately go to building the business by working on those top 25 candidates because they're excited right then. But we do it as a team. We help them. We don't just send them out on their own unless they already have success. They've already made a 6-figure income in networking. But it's still better to do it the way I teach, working in teams. Let your sponsor help you, or your sponsor, whoever that team leader is that you're working with, so you have a 1, 2, 3 punch. And many of you won't have that. But we start just like this. Everybody starts the same way. Then what we're going to learn to do is build out a long-term an organization like this. And if you got your business family pack, that's what that is. So we first work on our left side. Like here. And our right side. So we're not doing anything on the insides of our business family pack. Those are control centers. Those are rank centers. Those are future leverage centers that we can come back and make a huge income off of 3 centers when we open up and develop that and leverage. So we got property, but we have control. That's the whole purpose of the business family pack, to get it as soon as possible because you try and do it. And then I go through 20 minutes, step by step, sharing all the different 5 ways we make income while we're building a business one at a time. And I do it with the $5.99 membership, the power of 2. Okay. And I just go through the detail right here. So what if it took a person a whole year to do this? So you got to learn how to ask those questions as you using these materials. Okay. And then how do we rank up? We strictly by making income and enrolling people, personal enrollments. And so you don't even have to, when you're building, when you're learning, you don't have to worry about any of this growth factor stuff. Learn that later. It all comes automatic in your building. And if you're just re-engaging, don't even worry about it. Just get engaged. Okay? Let's get to making money. And I like to teach the power of 4. Because as soon as we do the power of 4 and then we help duplicate the power of 4 on the left and right, we're really making money. And we want to help people win that 100-ounce silver bar again. We want to get into a big momentum with that. So it boils down, we only have 3 basic choices. Okay? And the real choice is only one. That's a real commitment. Anything else is not a commitment. Anything else is, well, I'll see. They're still in the I don't believe phase. They don't even have enough belief to have a hope. And don't give me this, well, people don't have money. Oh, bull. They got a credit card. Let's go to work. That's what I told everybody that told me, well, I don't have any money. Well, then you need it worse than I thought you did. Pull out your credit card. Let's go to work. Let's get all your money back before your credit card bill comes in. That's what we want to do. And then I tell everybody, and I'm going to do it again here. I've modified scripts. I put them there for you. They're all in the band app. They're all in the PDFs. And I've given you the best of prospecting scripts from Eric War, the hottest prospecting scripts that work. And then words that work. Okay? And since I talked about money, I have to show the income disclosure, and I like doing it because, see, people actually making this kind of money with 7K. Yes, people are making that kind of money with 7K. And if they can, why can't you? Even though more than 80% of our customers, people are customers, and you'll be a customer when you first join until you make your first check. You're still a customer. Okay? And that's the way it goes. I really hope I put everything together in one summary video for you so that everybody can understand the magnitude of the opportunity that we have in our hands and what we're doing to move forward so that we can move forward as a unit, as a team, as a company team here in the field, that we're moving forward and we have common ways that we're all doing the very basic parts of the business. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it for you, for the future members of our teams, for the future people to open up new countries, to open up the Philippines, to open up Japan, to open up Taiwan, to open up Korea, to open up Italy, to open up France, to open up Belgium, to open up Greece, to open up many more countries around the world. At 7K. We're already in the 4 financial gold and silver centers. We're open in Singapore. We're open in Canada. We're open in the United States. We're open in the UK. We're open in Switzerland. Now it's just a matter of growing. Growing, expanding, having different vaults, different places around. I see that as the future. I see the future of 7K having more max vaults all around the world. I see one in Singapore. I see one in Switzerland or 2. I see one maybe in Canada. You and I are the emissaries of the message that change people's lives. We are a force of good, teaching people about God's money, gold and silver, things that they have never been taught before on purpose. Teaching the things that I've taught over these 7.5+ years. And all of it's available for you and your future members. All you have to do is point them to the band apps, point them to the bibliography. I got it there. I got all the training you will ever need. And I'll augment it as time goes by and update it as time goes by. And I'll keep doing that as long as I can. I really believe in you. And I hope my actions in my past 7 years have proven that to each one of my group team members. Because I care about you and your success and about your future team members' success. I care about you learning about God's money. I care about you protecting your wealth that you worked hard for all your life. I care about you accumulating more for you and your family and leaving a legacy for your children's children. I love each and every one of you. I thank you. And I want you to have a blessed day. Thank you so much.